Okay, let's just jump right in. Have you ever stopped to think that the way people talk in a certain place, their dialect, might actually be connected to the music from that same region? Today, we're going to explore this really cool parallel between music and language. They're two massive parts of who we are as people, and it turns out they tell a remarkably similar story about our history, our identity, and even our survival. So to kick things off, chew on this for a second. What on earth could possibly connect the fiery, passionate rhythms of flamenco music in Andalusia, Spain, with the unique accent and phrasing of the people who live there? Well, the answer goes way deeper than you'd probably expect, and it really gets to the heart of how culture itself is born. You see, it all starts with our roots, where we come from. Neither music nor language just pops up out of thin air. They grow right out of the soil of a community, shaped by its history and its geography. They're basically the soundtracks of our lives. And this is where you can really see that parallel evolution in action. On one side, you've got musical styles. I mean, think about the blues, right? It didn't just appear, it grew out of the specific experience of African Americans in the post-slavery South. And on the other side, language dialects. They bubble up as communities are shaped by everything from mountains and rivers to migration and just the passage of time. Both of them are living, breathing records of history. And this is how that evolution creates a sound that's totally unique to a place. The sound of the Delta blues. You can almost feel the humidity and hear the history of the American South in those notes. And in the exact same way, the Southern drawl isn't just an accent. It is the linguistic fingerprint of that very same culture. One is sung, the other is spoken, but they both tell you exactly where they're from. But here's the thing, cultures don't live in a bubble. They bump into each other, they mix, they borrow. And this is where the magic really happens. This cultural cross-pollination leads to these incredible explosions of creativity, both in the music we hear and the words we speak. And the key word for this whole process is hybridization. It's really just a fancy way of saying you're blending different things together to create something totally new. It's like a cultural recipe, right? You're taking ingredients from all over the place to cook up a brand new dish. I mean, just look at jazz. It's the perfect musical example. Jazz wasn't born in just one place. It was born from a fusion. You've got these complex rhythms from Africa, the harmonic structures from Europe, and these amazing syncopated traditions from the Caribbean. They all got thrown into the great melting pot of New Orleans, and boom, an entirely new American art form was born. And believe it or not, that exact same blending process happens with language. It's not just for music. Our words or grammar, they're just as open to this incredible kind of fusion. This quote nails it. The perfect parallel in the world of language is Creole. Languages like Haitian Creole or Louisiana Creole, they came about when people speaking different languages were thrown together and had to figure out a new way to talk to each other. They're the linguistic jazz, a beautiful new form born from blending African, European, and indigenous elements together. Okay, so once you have these unique musical styles and dialects, how do they stick around? Well, they become these absolutely essential tools for passing down culture, for transmitting a community's identity from one generation to the next, making sure those stories don't get lost. And you can see the parallels so clearly here. African drumming isn't just music, it's a living library of rhythmic history. Folk songs aren't just pretty tunes, they are history books put to music. In the same way, a regional accent is a badge of honor, a piece of a community's identity. And local sayings, they carry entire worldviews packed into just a few words. And the secret ingredient that makes all this possible is the power of oral tradition. We're talking about things that aren't written down in a textbook. They're passed from person to person, parent to child, musician to apprentice. That's what keeps that direct, unbroken link to the cultural roots, and it's what keeps these traditions so authentic and alive. But in the world we live in today, all of this rich, amazing diversity faces a huge shared threat. Globalization, as amazing as it is for connecting us, can also put this massive pressure on everyone to conform, and that threatens the very uniqueness we've been talking about. This chart really kind of breaks it down for us. As this big, global standard culture gets more and more dominant, whether we're talking music or language, this space for all those unique regional variations starts to shrink. And the big risk is that everything starts to sound, well, the same. So let's lay it out. The big challenge is what we call homogenization. In music, that means global pop styles can start to overshadow awesome regional genres. In language, it's the dominance of global languages like English. And the risk is exactly the same for both. We could lose the incredible distinctiveness of local styles and dialects, and when they go, the cultural histories they carry go with them. And that really brings us back to the main point, which this quote just captures so perfectly. The real beauty of human culture isn't in everyone being the same. It's in the rich, complex, and beautiful harmony created by all of our different voices. So at the end of the day, music and language aren't just similar. They are telling the exact same story. It's a story of diversity, of how we adapt to new things, and of the fight to preserve what makes each of us unique. So I'll just leave you with this question to think about. As our world gets more and more connected, how do we do it? How do we embrace all that connection without losing the beautiful, distinct melodies and dialects that make up our incredible global symphony? How do we preserve the harmonies in our differences?